Yeah, beat the shit out of her, get all this, and then Brie Bella goes off to jail, and it's like Stephanie does this and thinks that we're stupid. Stephanie McMahon, we are not stupid. If anything, you're stupid for pulling off something that was already done a couple of weeks ago when you got arrested. When you got arrested, it was headline news, and everybody wanted to make fun of you. When Brie Bella got arrested, it's like, Daniel Bryan will get it out of jail, no problem. Okay? It's done. It's over with. It's out the fucking window. Give me a fucking break. But anyways. So, with all that being said, I think we have some time, don't we? Let me see if I can have my watch here. I think we still got enough time here. We'll go ahead and just leave the whole thing off of Raw and then talk about SummerSlam before we end this show right here on the Main Event Talk. WWE SummerSlam coming this Sunday on pay-per-view. You know what's going to happen. Y2J Chris Jericho goes one-on-one against Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam. The Main Event cannot wait for that. My prediction for that is quite simple. The last time these two went off against each other, Chris Jericho had a win over Bray Wyatt. And this victory right here is coming. And whether anybody likes it or not, Y2J, I dig him, I'm glad he's back. But I see Bray Wyatt winning over Y2J at SummerSlam, live, on pay-per-view, and on the WWE Network, which you can only get for $9.99. Orale. Now, let's continue on the next matchup coming up. Of course, we just talked about it, Stephanie McMahon going one-on-one against Brie Bella. And is it just me, or should the match change up a little bit between Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella? Should we have an appearance by Daniel Bryan? Should he show up? You bet your ass he'll show up. Oh yeah, definitely. You could see that on pay-per-view or on the WWE Network for only $9.99. Orale. Dolph Ziggler goes one-on-one against the Moneymaker, The Miz. FTM. Fuck The Miz. The man who thinks he's the most important figure in Hollywood, when the most important figure in Hollywood is the one that made more money off of Hercules than more money off of the Marine. We're talking about The Rock. Miz, no offense to you, but I think I liked you a whole lot better when you were a good guy. You were annoying back then, but you're even more annoying now. Nobody gives a damn about your moneymaker. Give me a fucking break. And by the way, just to clarify something, your moneymaker, like everybody's moneymaker, is from behind. That's a moneymaker. And well, if anyone knows about, a moneymaker, it's Naomi of the Funkadactyls. She's got a moneymaker at her, and I wouldn't mind. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Rusev, Mr. Rusev, with the Ravishing Russian Lana in a flag match against Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter in the main event. Cannot wait for that. And it's so cool that Jack Swagger is no longer a heel. After all these years, Jack Swagger finally becomes a good guy, and he becomes a good guy at this day and age. And I'm glad that Jack Swagger's getting the push, and I'm glad that a lot of people are behind him, and I hope this momentum continues. I see nothing but good things happening for Jack Swagger after this matchup against Rusev. My prediction on that one is quite simple. Rusev will have his first loss done at SummerSlam, and all I know is I can't wait for Jack Swagger to get his hands on the American flag and Zeb Coulter to tell everybody, I want every real American to please rise. Put your hand over your heart and in a loud, clear voice, say along with us, we the people. The main event cannot wait for that SummerSlam. Jack Swagger will overcome against Rusev. And who knows? Maybe the main event will get an opportunity to go one-on-one with the Ravishing Russian. Orale. But anyways, let's move on to the next matchup. And it involves two guys, two of my favorite guys that I can't wait to have their matchup. Although I would admit that the match could be a whole lot better if it wasn't a lumberjack match. We're talking about Seth Rollins, and we're talking about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I'm about to bring up Roman Reigns in just a moment. This matchup, ever since Battleground, these guys went at each other's throats like crazy at Battleground. And Dean Ambrose, he's getting more crazy and more loco every time I see the guy. And I cannot wait to see him against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Although all of us can agree that I wish the matchup was somewhat different and more exciting, okay? Now, I guess the only reason why there was a lumberjack match put together in the first place is to get all the superstars to appear on WWE SummerSlam, which will be live on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. You can only get it for $9.99. Orale. No shit. Let's move on. Well, let's not move on. And just to get my prediction, I think Dean Ambrose and I think Seth Rollins, at the end of the matchup, it's going to end up Seth Rollins somehow winning the matchup against Dean Ambrose. And I think this feud between him and Dean Ambrose will not be over by a long shot. And personally, to me, this match shouldn't even be a lumberjack match. If anything, it should be a ladder match for the Money in the Bank contract at WWE SummerSlam. That's my opinion, that's my thought, and I know all of you will agree upon that. But nonetheless, at SummerSlam, it's Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose in a lumberjack match. All the superstars are going to surround the ring to prevent Seth Rollins from leaving, and I say Seth Rollins will somehow find a way to beat the lunatic fringe in the form of Dean Ambrose. Can't wait for that. And speaking of some of the members of the Shield, let's talk about Roman Reigns. And to every woman on the planet, they think of Roman Reigns and they want to basically go one-on-one with Roman Reigns. Can you believe that? Every woman wants a piece of Roman Reigns. But then again, there's a lot of women that want to take a piece of Randy Orton. And this is going to be a unique match in many ways possible. Originally, I think it was going to be, Roman Reigns against Triple H at SummerSlam. That's what I thought the original match was going to be. But now, it's become Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at WWE SummerSlam. It's going to be a tremendous matchup between those two. I say Roman Reigns is going to go for it, and hopefully in the near future, hopefully, we will see this in Roman Reigns' hands. Believe that. And I said SummerSlam, Roman Reigns is going to overcome Randy Orton. Can't wait for that. Also, the Divas Championship will be decided when Paige goes one-on-one against the Divas Champion, AJ Lee. And my thought on it is quite simple. Paige will think in her mind that she's going to claim back what she never lost. But in my opinion, AJ Lee, I love her, and so does CM Punk, but Paige, to me, is a great athlete and does well for herself. And I say that Paige will overcome. Paige is going to come in and do everything in her power to get the Divas Championship. So I say this, I say Paige will make that one mistake and AJ will capitalize and become the Divas Champion. In other words, AJ Lee will walk away still Divas Champion, and Paige will be left without a best friend to care for. So that's pretty much everything that happens at SummerSlam, live and exclusively on pay-per-view and on the WWE